Welcome to the Tech Mentorship series today. And today we'll continue our series on what truly matters in your tech journey. We started a series on this topic some few weeks ago, and we'll be looking at things and concepts that truly matters in your tech journey. And we've been answering some questions in line with that, starting with the kind of knowledge that you possess. Then we went further to ask the question, are you growing? Then we looked at what kind of results are you producing? And the thing we looked at, what can you do? What are the kind of skills that you have? So today we'll be looking at one more. We'll be picking on the next thing that truly matters in your tech journey, which is what are the kind of persons, which is largely relationship. And we'll be looking at answering the question, who do you know? So relationships generally are connections between two persons or two entities. And in most cases, it is defined by a collective or common goal. So you find yourself in a classroom with different students. You are all in one environment, and the goal is for everybody within that environment to acquire a level of knowledge or a level of skill. So the relationship is usually driven by you having a common goal or an established goal. Not everybody wants to acquire skills. Some may want to acquire certificates, but you are all bound by the environment you find yourself. So now we'll start before we go deep into me telling you or showing you how to build quality relationship. I would want to give you some facts about relationship. The first thing is that the relationship you have can shape your mindset. So relationship has a very strong influence on what you become. So if you find yourself amongst fools, it means that you will end up becoming a fool. If you find yourself amongst software developers, in most cases, you find yourself having some flair for software development. If you find yourself among cybersecurity professionals, there is that tendency that you would have some level of knowledge that has to do with cybersecurity. So whatever association you find yourself or environment you find yourself, the more persons that portray a particular goal or are within that environment, the more likely that you also align with those persons. So your relationship can change your mindset. It can, if you have a relationship with somebody, there is the tendency for your mindset to be redesigned, reconfigured, is very, very high. So what and who you build your relationship with matters. And this is the first fact you need to know about your relationship. And take note of the fact that when I say relationship with entities, it must not even be relationship with two persons. Even though relationship is largely generally aligned with persons, you can have a relationship with a business. You can have a relationship with a company. You can have a relationship with a non-living thing. But the bottom line is whether you like it or not, whatsoever relationship you are able to establish has the tendency and the possibility to shape your mindset. You know, before I got my job with the hospitality industry that I was working for, that was way back in 2008, 2009. I was a myopic person. I was someone that was largely very, very. My knowledge bank was largely myopic, very narrow, and it affected my life generally. Then the only thing I knew was sitting with some group of persons who really don't have an understanding of where they are going to, and it was quite a challenging period because then I didn't know it was a challenging period because then I thought I was on the top of the world, enjoying myself, no disturbance and all of it. But when I got this job, I began to see life in a different from a different angle. I began to see the need for growth. I began to see the need for getting involved in certain things. I was never concerned about politics. It was when I got involved in that organization, when I got engaged in that organization, I began to see persons talk about politics, the importance of politics, and that was largely as they began to speak things like that I was listening, even though they were not speaking to me directly, because I was within an environment where I was serving the public. So I was hearing all of this stuff, and it was changing my mindset. It was changing my mindset to the end that I would come back from work late in the night, and I'll begin to argue politics with my dad, who was not surprised that all of a sudden I began to get peak interest in politics. Not that I was interested in getting involved into politics, but I was now well informed on certain principles, on certain strategies, on certain concepts that gave me a lot of info, a lot of ground to debate with my dad and argue with my dad, and it was quite a unique experience that period. And the reason was because I had a relationship with an entity, with an organization, by means of them engaging me to work in the organization. And because of that, I was able to get to know persons, and getting to know those persons, they were building my mental faculty, feeding me with knowledge, making me see certain things, and a whole lot of strategies that I know today largely came from people coming to feed me knowledge today from a different perspective. Another person coming to feed me the same knowledge from a different perspective, because I was working for variety of professionals, and they were just giving me knowledge, feeding me with knowledge, giving me their concept, mindset, and all of that. And that's what has largely made me, to a large extent, the person I am today, because I have a whole lot of knowledge, different strategies to achieve a specific goal. So relationship can shape your mindset, whether it is a relationship with a person, a relationship with your spouse, a relationship with a company, a relationship with an entity like, or a living thing like a dog. It has the ability to shape your mindset. That's the first thing you need to take note of. The second thing you need to take note of, the second fact about relationship is, within every relationship is a collection of individual knowledge. Now, every relationship you have, especially when you're now talking with a relationship with a person, that person is coming with a body of knowledge. You yourself, you're coming with a body of knowledge. And that relationship creates room for both of you to exchange your body of knowledge. So if the person is coming with an archaic knowledge of the 80s, knowledge of this 18th century, then you should be ready to learn that kind of knowledge, because that's what he has. Relationship gives room for exchange of information. So once you are able to acquire that kind of once you're able to give room for relationship to be established, it means that you have opened the gate for information to be exchanged. So you have to ensure that the kind of persons you're building a relationship with are the kind of person that will feed you with information that are relevant, useful, and needed. So you should not just go into a relationship with a person that has information that is obsolete, that has information that is archaic, and information that would not benefit you in this time and age. So relationship, every relationship is a collection of individual knowledge, because everybody is bringing their own individual knowledge as the basis for that relationship. The third fact about relationship is, right relationship can produce tremendous results if properly maintained. Okay, now, right relationship can produce tremendous results if properly maintained. So when you find yourself in a right relationship, the possibility for the result can be positive, the result can be right, the result can be consistent, especially when that relationship is maintained. Because there is the concept of establishing relationship, which we'll be looking at. Then there is the concept of maintaining relationship. Many people know how to establish relationship, but they don't know how to maintain. So, and maintaining relationship is far more important than even establishing. Because why establish relationship if you are not willing to maintain the relationship? And there's a strategy and a goal to maintain a relationship. So you should take note of the fact that the right relationship you find yourself can produce tremendous results if maintained. The relationship with your spouse can produce tremendous results if you maintain it well. The relationship with your organization, your employees, or your employers can produce tremendous results if you maintain it. There are many employers who don't know how to maintain relationship with their employees. So their employees come, work 1 month, 2 months, resign, and to them they are okay with it. No, that's not a relationship well maintained, because you would never get somebody that is able to be loyal to you in that state. As an organization, as an employer, you have to be able to build a relationship, to establish a relationship with your employees, to the end that they are able to become loyal, not just to you, but to the organization. Why? Because you would maintain, or you are maintaining, the relationship or whatever contract you have with them. The fourth thing that you need to take note of, as long as relationship is concerned, is relationship are like gates that grant access to people. So when you are bringing me coming to meet you now, for the purpose of me coming to meet you for the purpose of establishing a relationship, I am not just coming alone. I may be one person, but I have a lot of persons that rely on me, that believes in me, that I have established relationship with before. So if I'm coming to meet you to build a relationship with you, I'm also giving you access to those persons that have my back, or those persons that holds me favor. Same thing with you. If you're coming to meet me or to build a relationship with me, it is an access for me to have the not to be able to meet the kind of persons that are behind you, the kind of persons that support you, the kind of persons that owe you favor. So relationship are like gates. When two persons come together to establish relationship, in reality is not two persons coming together to establish relationship. Instead, is multiple people coming to build relationship through two persons. And this is the beauty of relationship. Many persons just think that you coming to, if I know the president, if I'm able to build a relationship with the president of Nigeria, my country, do you really think that it is only the president that I have a relationship with? No, I have a relationship with a whole lot of persons that owe him favor, because through the president, I can get connected with another person. Through the president, I can get connected with the SGF. Through the president, I can get connected with the NSA, with the ministers, with the governors. Why? Because all of them, they are behind the president, and they have a relationship that is tied to the president. So building a relationship with somebody is not the coming together of two persons, but the coming together of multiple persons through two persons. This is the fact about relationship that many persons don't know. And this is one reason why you should be able to maintain your relationship. So now let's look at how you can build and maintain quality relationship, because building a relationship is one, maintaining a relationship is another. Many persons know how to build a relationship, but like I said before, they don't know how to maintain relationship. Why build what you cannot maintain? Because it's a wasted resources, wasted effort, and it's not something I would want to encourage. But there is a strategy to building relationship, which many persons don't know. So this is what I want to do. I want to give us a strategy on how you can build quality relationship. Yes, this strategy works. This strategy is what I use. This strategy is what I have used to get to where I am today. This strategy has been self-tested. This strategy is a strategy I've given to my mentees. They are using it and it is working for them. And this same strategy is what I want to give to you today. The first thing that you need in building a strong relationship is for you to have. So many persons think that the first thing you need to do to build a relationship is for you to go and look for who you want to build a relationship with. No. The first thing you need to build a relationship is to have. Have would mean have something that you are willing to give to that relationship. Don't just go and build the relationship and you don't have anything you're contributing. Have something that you are bringing to the table as long as that relationship is concerned. Many persons go establish relationship, but there is nothing for them. You don't have anything. You don't have anything that you're bringing to that relationship. Of what essence? Because at that point now, you're not building, you are being parasitic. Now, when you are in a relationship with somebody, an employee, an employer, and you are not bringing something to the table, you are being parasitic. You are there to milk the other party and not support or give to the other party. So the first thing in building any relationship is about working on yourself. Get what you can bring to the table. Have something that is worth bringing to the table, because that skill, that knowledge, that information that you have can be a lifeline to building a relationship that can take you a lifetime that can take you millions of dollars for you to be able to find. Yes. So the first thing is what? Have something. That's the first thing. First ever, most important, have something. That have something can be have an information that is scarce. Have a knowledge or a skill that is useful, that is needed. Have something that you can bring to the table. If you don't have anything you're bringing to the table of relationship, don't start. Don't start. If not, you'll become a beggar in that relationship. You are not coming from a standpoint of value, you're coming from a standpoint of need, and it is going to be a burden to you on the long run. So the first thing is what? Have something you're bringing to the table, because it is important you have something that you are using in exchange for that relationship. You can't just go and establish a relationship with somebody, and the person, you just want to get from the person. You're not willing to give to the person. That's parasitic, and it's a terrible way to build a relationship. And relationship that is built on that wise would not stand the test of time. But start with what? Having. So once you've been able to have, the next thing that you've gathered your skill, knowledge, information, whatsoever thing that that you are bringing as your contribution to that relationship. The next thing is to find. Now, what are you finding? You're finding opportunities. You're finding opportunities. You're finding persons that you would want to serve with that thing that you have. So I want to build a relationship with, let's say, the president. I don't know why I'm using the president today. Unless I want to build a relationship with the president, all I need to do is to look for something that the president needs. I would go and learn that thing, then look for an opportunity to serve the president with that thing. Because it is at the point of service that relationship is established, which is the third. But before we go into the third, take note of the fact that there are opportunities that are there. Opportunities you have to now begin to, because this is the most difficult part of establishing relationship. Finding the opportunities. That's the most difficult part of establishing or building relationship, because the opportunities at times can come once in a lifetime. But if you don't have what to bring to the table, and that opportunity presents itself, you would not have something to use in establishing a relationship. So what I usually do is I get skilled, I acquire knowledge, I get information. There are people that there are information that are scarce. Get it. If it will warrant you buying that information, buy it, because that can be the having that is needed to be able to establish a relationship with a prominent person within the industry. Find the opportunity. So once you've been able to find the opportunity. Opportunities can come in different places. You can go to conferences, you get opportunities there. You can go to event opportunities. Go to your worship center, you see opportunities. The goal is what? You already have something you're willing to bring to a table of a relationship. But now you are looking for an opportunity to show that you have that thing. So it is at this point you build a relationship. If you have a skill, find an opportunity to show the skill. When you show the skill, people that need the skill will come, or people that need that skill will come and begin to look for possibility to establish relationship with you. People don't know that having is, it's important that you have a skill. It's important that you have a knowledge. It's important you have something that is advantageous to you and to your person, because that is what you use to establish relationship. So, but once you've been able to have, like I said, the next thing you want to do is for you to what? To find an opportunity to serve that person, opportunity to show that skill, opportunity to explore that relationship. And the only way you can explore a relationship or you can show is by service, which is the third thing. So once you've been able to have a skill, then you have found an opportunity. The next thing you want to do is to serve and establish relationship. Now, serving and establishing relationship is the connecting dot. So there was this guy who I found out. I did a research about him, and I noticed that, see, this guy is very, very good at what he does, but nobody knows about him. Nobody knows about him, and because nobody knows about him, nobody's making demand on him. So I saw him at the conference, and I said, "Hey, guy, you have this skill, you have this thing. You have the kind of knowledge that we need in this part of the world. Why is it that nobody's hearing about you? You can't continue to be hiding." He was like, "Oh no, that is not that kind of person." I said, "No, no, no. This is what I will help you. Let me help you. Let me help you to come out of your shell. And if I help you come out of your shell, you would see the need why you need to share the information that you have or give the knowledge that you possess." And he considered it, and he was like, "Okay, let's give it a try." And before you know what's happening, I branded him, gave him a lot of, "Yeah, you said I do branding also." "Yes, I do branding. I also do visibility strategies." I designed a visibility strategies for him. I did digital branding for him. And before you called, you say Jack Robin, and most of these things, I began to doing all these things for free. And he saw the importance, and he said, "No, no, no, I'm not going to collect this thing for you for free. I need you to give me a bill." And I gave him a bill. And from that alone, that particular relationship alone have fetched me millions and millions of naira. And it's simple. Why? Because I have an opportunity. I have a skill, which is a skill of uh, it's me being strategic. I have an analytical mindset, which makes me a good strategist. So because I was a strategist, I'm a strategist. It was easy for me to approach him and give him a strategy. And I gave him a strategy on how he can become visible. And before you know what's happening, he's getting the visibility, he's getting conference calls, he's getting invitations to come speak at conferences, and he was happy with what he's doing. Now I've been able to serve him with a skill, and because of that, he has been able to reward me with not just payment, but also with the relationship that he has, and he's connecting me with this, connecting me with that, connecting me with this person. Why? Because I served him. If I had not served him with what I have, I wouldn't have gotten the level of exposure I have gotten through him. Like I said, relationship is not just a connection of two persons, but a connection of multiple persons through two persons. So I was able to do that and build my relationship with him by serving him with a skill that I have, and he saw the importance of the skill. He reaped the benefits of the skill, and he now began to show me his other relationship. So serving is the only, well, not the only, but the major way to establish relationship. If somebody needs something and I have it, and I want to build a relationship with that person, I will give that person that thing that I have for free. Yes, you heard me, for free, because that would mean that the person owes me. Not everybody will want to agree with this, but the truth of the matter is, what you give somebody for free is actually not for free. It's just that you are postponing the payment. The person will definitely pay you. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but the person will definitely pay you because the person now knows that he owes you a favor. I do many things for free. Many things. And people will ask me, how did you know this person? How did you know this person? How did you know this person? Hello? Because I served them. Even though for some of them I am more skilled than them, I have more level of professional when it has to do it in the field of cybersecurity. I have the skill. But I would, because they have something that I need. They have a kind of relationship, a body of relationship that I wanted to be exposed to. I had to bring down myself to serve them without charging them. For some of them, I gave them my book. Say, "This is my book. How much is the book?" "No, no, no, I'm not giving you my book. No, I'm not selling my book to you." You are worth more than the book. The relationship I want from you, anyway, I didn't tell them. The relationship I want from you is worth more than the book. So don't pay me. Take my book. It's free. I say, wow, thank you so much. Can you give me an autograph? Why not? Why not? My goal is your relation, is the people that you know. That's what I want. So I began to push. I began to pull, and I'll sign and I'll give them. Then tomorrow you just say, hey, I got your number from so person. You say you do cybersecurity. Oh yes, that's why I gave him the book for free. So you need to be strategic. You need to have something that you give when you want to establish relationship. If you don't have anything that you give, you are coming from the standpoint of need, and that relationship can be a burden on the long run. Now, once you've been able to serve, by service, you have established a relationship. After that, the most important step in all of these is what? Maintaining the relationship. People build relationship and not maintain it. It's sad. It's wasted resources, wasted effort. You build relationship that you are willing to maintain. So how do you maintain relationship? One, by communication. Communication. Very, very important. If you want to maintain relationship, you should not be far away from the person. Always reach out when the need arises. If you find out that the person is in a bad state, in their downtime, reach out to them. Be with them. If you need to pray with them, pray with them. If you need to what's it called, console them, even in terms of console them. If you need to rejoice with them when you just give birth to your child, I'm coming for your naming. Be there. That is how you maintain a relationship, by staying close to the person in terms of joy, when the person is joyous and when the person is in a state of, let's say there's a sudden death in the person's family. Be there for them. Maintain the relationship. Maintain relationship by being there, communicating always. That is the most important way to keep a relationship. You may not be seeing each other physically, but try as much as possible to what? To always reach out. The phones have made communications very easy. You don't even need to call. You can send an email. Mentor-mentee relationship. You as a mentee, you want to continue to maintain a relationship with your mentor, and you communicate with your mentor once a year. What kind of relationship is that? You're supposed to be giving your mentor back to close marking, sending them updates of everything you are doing, the projects you are working on, what the outcome of it. That is how you two keep in touch, because the mentor can have 1,000 mentees. So how do you think that the mentor will prioritize you? It is the person that communicates more with the mentor that the mentor would know. What? Ensure that you are in close proximity by communicating frequently with the other party when building a relationship. Don't communicate with persons only when you are in need. Because that's what most persons do. You are, I know this person. Okay. The only time you communicate with the person is when you are in need. You need house rent, you need this, you need that, you need job, they've terminated your appointment, you need a new job now, you know somebody that can give you a job. But before then, for 5 years, then 5 years, you've not spoken to the person. And because you're out of job, you immediately remember. That's being parasitic. Close communication is very, 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 very important. Then the second thing you need to do to maintain relationship is continue serving. If the person needs something, go and do it. If the person needs help, be there to serve. If the person needs something and you can do it, please don't restrain, do it. Because the more you serve the person, the more favor the person holds you. The more relevant you become in the sight of the person. And when opportunities come, it's only those that are relevant in my sight that I remember. There are persons that have come, so they send their CV to me, and job opportunities will come and I will forget about them. Why? It's because they just sent their CV to me and they forgot about me. So I also forgot about them. But those that keeps calling, keeps informing, keeps communicating with me, giving me updates, when opportunities come, they are usually the first persons I want to remember. So ensure that you do what? Ensure that you are building relationship for the purpose of maintaining them. For the purpose of maintaining them. Maintaining relationship is important. Two ways you maintain a relationship: communicate frequently and continue to serve. By communicating, I mean just be around. Ensure that the person is you are in close touch with the person and you know what exactly is going on with the person. And when the need arises for you to serve the person, please don't restrain. And once you do this, you are you are building. You're not just you are solidifying the relationship. And when opportunities come, the person remembers you. That's we have for today. We've been looking at the things that truly matters in your tech journey. This is the fifth. We've been treating. We started by answering the question, "What knowledge do you have?" Then we asked the question, "Are you growing?" Then we asked the question, "Who do you know?" This is what we're looking at. Who do you know? Relationship. Then we've asked the question, "What skill do you have?" We asked the question last week about results. What can you produce? What kind of results can you produce? So these are the five skills that we have. But let me do a recap of how to build quality relationship. It starts by you having a skill that you want to share, having a skill you want to use in service, having a skill that you want to bring to the table, having an information that gives you an advantage on the table. The second thing is for you to find. What are you finding? You're finding an opportunity, because the opportunity can come in different forms. It can come with you meeting the person and the person is in need and you have what you can use to solve the person's problem. So finding an opportunity is the second thing, after which you want to serve with the skill that you have. After, by serving, you are establishing the relationship. And the fourth thing is what you maintain the relationship. And you maintain the relationship by ensuring that you have close proximity with the person, communicating with the person, and continuing to serve the person. And that's how you solidify and maintain relationship with both those below you and those that are way ahead of you for career or whatever growth that you aspire to get to. So that's all we have for you today. My name is Hanniel Jafaru, and I am the Tech Mentor. See you next week on the Tech Mentorship Series.